right. Track 4?
Track 4.
Track 4 is Insecurity.
Insecurity. What's that? I've never heard of that.
Dude, I envy you. Never felt insecure in your life?
No.
Yeah?
I literally don't know what that word means.
Well, to be insecure is to be non-secure in one's identity or feelings or a general feeling of unsafety.
Oh, I've had that. I guess I just didn't know what the word meant.
I made that definition up off the top of my head. I didn't look it up, so it could be incorrect, but I feel like it was a pretty astute description.
I thought you were reading from the dictionary.
Might have been. I wish I could do that. If I was Eminem, I could do that, because clearly he just reads the dictionary just to come up with new rhymes and stuff.
You could read a dictionary if you tried.
That's true, yeah, hopefully. I don't know. I might have to learn English.
Right, that's the problem is like, hey, you want to know words? Then you got to know words. So it's like, what the fuck?
True.
It's kind of fucked up.
Could you imagine?
It's like the DMV, man. You got to have ID to get ID.
All right, so track 5. How are you feeling? Track 4?
Track 4. Quattro.
Track 4. How are you feeling going into this 4th song?
4th song, man. I'm feeling good. I'm glad we're here. You know, this is the, do I dare say, quarter way through the album point?
I guess so, huh?
Because, yeah, I guess this is basically start of the second quarter. So, not to spoil too much stuff, but, yeah. So, yeah, I'm feeling good about it, though. I mean, I think on the album, this was probably one of the earliest beats I made. And it turned out okay. I wasn't too mad at it. But, yeah, when we were going through the folder, there was quite a few different beats, and I feel like this one was probably the most different out of all of them. So what'd you kind of think when you came across this one?
I was going to say that I feel like this album in general is very versatile when it comes to the beat selection, but this is where it goes in a completely new direction. It sounds pretty chaotic, and I think that was what I wanted, because in the last song, it's about, you know, Jordan kind of looking at his relationship and hoping for the best, but, you know, not even expecting the worst, but the worst is to come, clearly. They're not meant for each other. And so the next song pretty much had to be their separation. It had to be chaos. And so when I heard the way that this song started out, it sounded chaotic to me. Not in like a melodic way to where, you know, it's obviously non-pleasant to the ears, but in a way that it commands your attention. Something's getting ready to happen. And that was the initial feeling that I got when I listened to it. And so I wanted to work from that place. And I didn't know if I was going to call it Insecurity. I actually originally was going to call it Infidelity.
True.
But I really wanted the focus of the song to remain on Jordan and his decisions. Because everything about this album is about Jordan's decisions and where that takes him. So if it was about infidelity and Taylor cheating on Jordan, then that would take away his agency and his choices. So, yeah, Insecurity it is, and thank God it had the same amount of syllables.
Yeah, that worked out really well. It's damn near the same word, just different meaning.
Pretty much, yeah. And so that's the place that I came from for it. Where do you think you were at, like, mindset-wise when making this beat?
Shoot, mindset-wise, I was in a phase where I don't even know if it's really a phase, but I would say I was like kind of almost most at my root with this one. Because, yeah, I took a sample and chopped it up so much that you couldn't really tell where it came from. And I kind of like that. I actually want to get back to that more. But, yeah, I just remember I was in the old first LA crib and I was chopping it up. And I hadn't even like been using a beat pad at this point. So I chopped it up and put all the samples on the piano. And, yeah, I was like playing all the samples in piano. And then eventually just got that sucker recorded, threw some drums on there. I had no idea what I was doing with the drums. But yeah, I was just kind of messing around, and that's just kind of what sprung out of the moment, man.
What sample did you use?
It's like, I think it's like Duke Ellington or something like that.
I don't even know who that is.
Yeah, he's a legendary piano player. But this one had like, it had the flute, which is rare. Like Duke Ellington usually doesn't have the flute. That's
Gotcha.
pretty cool.
What about Beef Wellington?
That's delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love
Hell
that,
yeah.
especially in the wintertime.
No flutes there either.
Nah, no flutes, man. Unless you drink it through a straw, that's kind of a flute.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, so that's a pretty cool way of looking at it. Yeah, when I hear certain beats of yours when I go through the folders, there's certain ones that I listen to and I'm like, that's traditional personify versus, you know, where we're moving towards in the future. And I'm excited to see where your beats go. But yeah, I could see what you're saying in terms of the way that you explained it. So that's really cool.
Very like back to the roots of hip hop kind of thing, I would say. So yeah, like when you came on this, you definitely brought a lot of energy, you know? So what kind of inspired you to take this turn and, well, let me just stop the question there.
I like the way you asked that. When I start writing the songs, I know generally where I want the characters to be at by the end of the song, but I don't really know how I'm going to get there until I finish writing the last verse of, the song. So I pull from personal experiences in terms of the feeling of insecurity, right? So if it has to be within Jordan's hands for why he fumbles this relationship, why things explode and he gets to the place that he's going to be in the next song, then I had to pull from my own insecurities and my own, like hardships when it came to maintaining a healthy relationship. And I wanted this to be like the least healthy relationship possible. So when it comes to Taylor, obviously it starts in a place where it's already very one-sided. It's not really love. It's very transactional. And he's still trying to make it work, and he's very in tunnel vision about what he wants. He has this perspective of, we're going to get a house on the hill and we're going to move in together, and ignoring all of these red flags. And so along the way, he's starting to get insecure because deep down inside he knows, he has a gut feeling that this person is not really in it for him, and therefore she can be taken away. And so that insecurity festers within him and then causes him to react in the way that he does in this song, which is very aggressively, like Jordan is our protagonist, he's our main character, but I really wanted to show and highlight his flaws in this song, because it's not just about these bad things happen to this character and therefore he goes down this bad path. He's a good person that has genuine flaws, and there's a lot of good people out there that are not immune to acting this way with their significant other. And I thought that that was a very important thing to bring forth in this track.
No, for sure. Yeah, goddamn, Jordan, we saw his dark side, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. It was a lot of fun doing some angry shit on this song, just because everything up until this point is pretty mellow for the most part. And I mean, I grew up listening to artists that yell. if it's from like rock songs, obviously like screamo type stuff, but even from hip hop like Eminem and Hopsin and different artists that let out their aggression, especially when it comes to subject matter like that's in this song. So it was fun going from, him being accusatory in the first verse, and the hook also being just kind of like the juxtaposition to the verses, because the verses themselves are very aggressive and high energy, and then the hook itself is just him chopping shit up. So I had this idea from as soon as I heard how chaotic the beat was and how I wanted to come at it chaotically, that this would be the perfect song to kind of mess around with some scratches and just like cool DJing type stuff, so that when you're in that part, it's coming together obviously, but it presents this feeling of everything's out of disarray. And then the second verse is a lot of fun too, because it's just kind of like cartoonish almost. I think about him just driving around the city, just like drinking and being pissed off. And there's nothing funny about drinking and driving, but I mean, in terms of like the way that he's narrating himself, I think it's really funny, and it's supposed to be a little bit comedic because it's ridiculous. You get yourself into a situation that you got your fucking self into, and then now you're pissed off about it and you're driving around and it's everybody else's fault. You know what I mean? So it's supposed to kind of have a little bit of a comedic tone to it, and I thought that we accomplished that.
Driving through the city like a madman.
Yeah, and just the part about like what do you say? I'm so bad at recalling even my own lyrics, which is really funny. But he says something about like hitting a pigeon or hitting a bird or something like that, but at least it wasn't a building. hit a pigeon, but at least it wasn't a building or something like that.
Yeah.
It's fucking dumb, but like it was supposed to be. You know what I mean? Because we're fucking dumb in those moments. It's blind rage as a result of him, not having that 20/20 vision, not being real with himself. And so there's, consequences for that, which is obviously losing this relationship, which isn't the worst thing in the world, but for Jordan, it feels like it is. So,
yeah. When you're young, that's like your whole life, especially if that's all you really got.
Yeah, for sure. And that's what he feels like. He feels like that's all that he really has. And that's the reason why In the next song, you're going to see him in the state that he's in. But for now, that's Insecurity.
That's good.
Beautiful.
So, any good times recording you can recall, or any memories while creating the song rather than just writing it?
Trying to remember off the top of the head. Maybe just like the end of the song. I feel like in Kids, the previous song before this one, we also had a lot of fun with just creating an experience versus just typical structure of like verse hook, where we kind of had like a breakdown in the end. I had a lot of fun with the breakdown in this one because it's a lot more kind of like, okay, the song could end, or we could just play around with the scratches and stuff some more, and kind of a different approach to some of the stuff that I said previously in the song, and then bringing it back and then chopping that up kind of the same way that we would with those scratches. So that was a lot of fun. And especially I think that I say something in Scream at a certain part at the end of the song. I think I just scream. And that's pretty cartoonish too. I had a lot of fun with that.
Hell yeah.
But do you remember what I say when I scream? I'm just like,
you scream. Ah! Yep. That's it.
Fucking stupid. I love it.
Hell yeah.
Well, shoot, yeah. Any other things that you think would be cool fun facts from your, side of the production?
Yeah, I'll talk about some of the recording experience too. So some things that were memorable from my end, I would say, were I remember it because before this, every song was pretty chill, but especially the past two, and especially the one right before this, track 3. That was Kids was the most chill one ever.
Right.
And then when we're recording this one, Michael was definitely yelling. I was getting a little worried the neighbors might hear. I was like, oh shit, I gotta turn the mic way down. I gotta really do some different engineering stuff, get him farther back from the mic. But yeah, when we finally got it recorded, it was the easiest thing to mix ever. The way, I guess when you yell, your voice is just so smooth, honestly. And
giving off more information, I guess. The microphone's picking up more because I'm just screaming at it.
Yeah, and it's not boxy or muddy. When you talk low, you'll kind of get those little muddy things in it, the lower part of the voice. But when you're screaming, then yeah, it's just your true voice, a little higher end. So. And
I feel in order for me to be able to raise the volume, the octaves have to go up regardless. So I guess that might just get it out of that weird zone where those frequencies do muddy the voice. So that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. For sure. So yeah, that was fun. This was the first one that I thought sounded pretty good, honestly. This one, was done months before most of the other songs, I feel like.
Right. It's pretty straightforward.
Right. And once we threw the scratches on there, too, it all came together. So yeah, that was cool, too.
Yeah, because there's certain songs where you're okay, I go from the verse to the hook, and then even if the hook doesn't have much going on there, you're I feel like I need to add something or else listeners are going to get bored. I'm getting bored listening to it. But this one, the structure of it kind of commanded that we just left nothing at the hook, and so that just made it a lot easier, I'd imagine, to mix, because you don't have to mix each of the hooks, once you do one, then you've done all of them. But yeah,
true. So yeah, that was it. Just wanted to share that little recording experience.
Cool. Well, yeah, I think that's just about it for Insecurity. Thank you guys for listening. We're 4 tracks in so far with 8 to go, so look forward to that.
Stay tuned, y'all. See you next time.
See ya.